Hi everyone, this is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stamp. Welcome to my channel. Ready for today's video? Today's video, I have one more card to share with you by using your So Jelly stamp set and matching die set. And after this card, I'm going to move to the next stamp set. So there's a brand new stamp set and matching die set that are coming by the end of this month. Before we launch those new images, I just want to share with you to show you what you can do with those brand new A stamp set and give you some idea, maybe help you to make your decision, choose one or two set. Also in this video, I'd like to respond to questions that my viewers left me on the YouTube channel. If you have any question, always leave me a comment or send me an email and I will do my best to respond it. So let's start today's video. It's something very simple. If you haven't got a chance to take a look at the last video, I will put a link below. I already used this So Jelly stamp set and matching die set, create 7 different kind of project and just give you some idea, help you to make your decision. Let's start today's video and hope you like it. Okay, so here's the first question. First question is, can I use the Local Kings markers on the background stamp? There's nothing you can do it. You can do whatever you like. It's just what's the result. Here are 2 different kind of stamp. On the right side, this is a Jelly Jiggly, and this is the words background stamp. This is our number 1 sale background stamp. It just looks pretty with like an old card. So can you tell what's the difference between these two stamps? This is Jelly Jiggly. You can see they are completely flat, and this word stamp is kind of raising up, right? So on the right side is Jelly Jiggly, we call the shadow reverse image. So that means that all the image like this jellyfish is kind of like a reverse, like a fossil. Okay, and then this word stamp is a detail stamp. See, all the outline is raising up. So when you use a rubber stamp, the raising area, when you color them and you stamp them, they will transfer to your paper. They are going to become the stamp image. So you can use the markers, but when you use marker, it's going to be challenging because the word background, the background stamp, they are kind of big, right? So the marker, Local Kings marker is kind of moisture. It can go, you can take up to 3 minutes. If you can finish all your image in 3 minutes, you can still able to stamp that. But the problem is that when we working with those kind of shadow reverse image, it's really hard to hide your stroke. So let me grab a box markers, okay? So the only thing is, well, but some people maybe like to have some special effect, right? Just like I say, there is nothing you can. It's just what looks the best after you stamped it, right? So that's the these Jelly Jiggly. I am going to just grab some green, blue, purple. Let's just stay with the same color, okay? So light, medium, dark. Let's just do this one. Okay, remember the new stamp, you always kind of use eraser to erase the surface. They will help the ink much better. So if I start to coloring, okay, it's going to take a while to color the whole stamp image. And also, it's kind of hard to hide those strokes. But you can to do that. Why not? As long as you can color your stamp, you can you can stamp. So there's nothing you can do it. Just be creative, do whatever you like. So the only thing is how we are going to hide those strokes. That's important. So that's why usually when I'm working on the background stamp, I will just use impact brayer that just make this coloring faster. So I'm gonna just do my best to just color this background stamp. And then if you really want to use the markers, just make sure keep your marker stroke together. Don't try to color like that, because anything you put on your stamp when you're stamping on the paper is going to show. So unless you really want those messy strokes showing on your stamp, so otherwise try to start from the one corner and then finish on the other corner. Try to hiding those strokes as much as you can, okay? So let's do that. Okay, And the local King's markers that they actually dry slow on the rubber, but they are not unlimited. You have to try to finish it as soon as possible. Okay, and one more thing I want to share with you is if you you try to start with a lighter color first, that way you don't contaminate your lighter marker, right? But sometimes you forget about that, or your grandkids they didn't pay attention. They use your bright light marker like this yellow, accidentally go on top of your dark color, and then your yellow become like this color, and then that's very painful, right? You think, oh, I just ruined your marker. If it is happen to local King's marker, don't panic. All you have to do is just use the wet cloth, kind of wipe off the tip, okay, and then I see I got my yellow color back right away. And then those markers super awesome because it like these blue. I want to show you because it's kind of dry. You can see this is kind of dry, right? So what you're gonna do is we can refill with water. So what you're gonna do is make sure you remove the cap, and I do have a video to show you how to refill the marker. You only do it if it's necessary, and then use a plier to pick up this part. Don't use your teeth. The dental works is so expensive. And then we are going to use some water. So I have water here, and I have a syringe here. Oh, here's a syringe, and I just pick up some water. Okay, not too much. We only need a 5 drip. So I just kind of put the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drip. Okay, as soon as you see the water kind of dripping out, that means is they are ready to go. So that's just do one more. Okay, I think that's good enough. 5 to 7. You only do it when it's necessary. If they are still very moisture, when you add more water, the color will just fade a little bit. Okay, so that was my marker, right? Kind of pretty dry, and I see. Oh, I think I need more. That's just to put, this is a really thirsty marker. That's to put the other 10 drips. Okay, and I'm still talking. They should be fine. Okay, let's just do the other few drip here. 4, 5. This is a very, very dry, so I put it like a 10, 12. Usually, look, 20. Okay, let's see. This marker, I think I forgot to put the lid. Is actually very, oh, there you go. So, see? It needed time to floating. Now my marker is like new. Okay, so you can refill those marker, but don't do it unless it's necessary, okay? Depend on how dry it is. Usually 5 to 10 they will do, but I think I accidentally leave the cap open. So that's a really, really dry. I put almost like a 20 drops of water. Okay, so that's this one. And then I'm going to just put a piece of paper to show you what's it look like. Okay, so that's what it look like. If you like this kind of effect, go for, oh, actually it's kind of look like all the jellyfish is floating that way. So you can use the markers. It's just that they will show the stroke. But if we just use the impact, let me grab a piece of paper here. If we just use the impact, okay, see what's the difference. So I'm going to just do a little, so you kind of rubbing, tapping. Okay, I'm going to just save the paper, so I'm going to just use the other side. See, they are much smoother. It doesn't have this kind of stroke, right? Does that make sense? So you can do it. It's just what are you looking for, which result you're looking for. But actually, this just give me some great idea. I'm going to try to color with my marker by all this direction to create a stroke, like create a current to make all my jellyfish swimming that way. Okay, so that's one thing if your stamp is a shadow stamp. But if your stamp is a detail stamp, like this one is kind of raising up, so we can use a marker because all the raising area, that's the area will pick up the ink. So in my following videos, I am going to show you what's the shadow stamp and detail stamp. Okay, so that's just a color view, but I will use just the ink pad because it's just rubbing it and then you get color, right? So if your stamp is detail stamp, okay, and then that won't be a problem. Okay, it's just easy because the raising area is nice and like a fine. It's not like a solid image like those kind of jellyfish. So here is the answer. Yes, you can use the marker on the background stamp. It just depends on what you're looking for, and there you go. Okay, but I kind of like this kind of effect. It's actually not bad, right? Okay, so let's move to the next. Okay, so today actually I want to show you how to make this card. It's very easy. Remember from my last video, I had some die cut and I was mentioning in my videos, they don't put those die cut away. We can use those die cut as a stencil. That's how I come up with today's video. We are going to use those die cut, the negative part, and using as a stencil. But before we do that, I want to show you something. So these two kind of stamps are very important because I'm kind of surprised a lot of people, they don't know what is the shadow stamp. So same thing like that jellyfish I was mentioning, the shadow stamp and detail stamp. Same thing like these two stamps. You can see this stamp is completely flat and this one is detail. So when the stamp is a little bit small, like this small jellyfish, you can use markers. So I am going to just grab 4 colors. I'm going to see what's the difference. I'm going to color these 2 stamps, exactly the same stamp, and then see what's different, okay? So we're going to start with this light blue, and I'm going to color this light blue too. So on the rubber stamp, all the raising area, when you put your color on top and when you stamp, that will be the image you get. Okay, so I'm going to color directly on top, light, medium, and the dark. Okay, and then what is color? Blue. So I'm going to do this. Okay, don't worry about the detail. But you know what? The shadow stamp is very important because the detail, those white outline, if you don't have those white outline when you stamp it, it's not going to look awesome. So the design is really important. Go check your drawer to see do you have any shadow stamp or not. So let's do this see the way color. I don't really care about the detail. So 4 color on 2 stamp, exactly the 4 color here. So you can see the shadow stamp. So shadow stamp is like this. The detail stamp is like this. Okay, cannot really focus. There you go. Okay, and then that's the stamp. What's it look like? So I'm going to. So this is a Mako cardstock. The cardstock is a very good quality cardstock. So I'm going to stamp here, and I'm not going to release it so that way you can compare. So I have both shadow and the detail. The right side is shadow, the left side is the detail. See the difference? The shadow stamp, the outline is white, they are reversed. So the stamp itself is completely flat. And then the outline, you can see the outline, right? And then the detail stamp, they are raising up. So they have some space between So they are not a solid image. So when you stamp it, only the erasing area will pick up the markers. But I think the color is actually very pretty, isn't it? Okay, so and then before I move on to the next step, so what I did is I just used a die cut a piece of double side tape here because for my sample card, I put a little bit glitter in the back, make it like kind of like a ghost, right? And then I am going to just die cut this one. So I'll be right back. There you go. You know what? Actually, I really like this color too. What do you think? So your outline, it doesn't have to be black only. You can do any color you like. When I design a stamp set, I think about it. I want this stamp you can use it, you can make for all different kind of card, not just one or two. So I have created a lot of video by using the same stamp set already, give you some idea what it can do. So buying the rubber stamp is like you're looking for your husband. They have to be all in one. They have to be handsome, romantic, funny, hardworking, all in one, right? I think find the perfect rubber stamp is easier than find the perfect husband. How do you think? Okay, so that's my jellyfish. I just kind of using the magic mushroom, kind of give a little bit shading. Okay, hide a little bit that tiny little white gap if you want to. Okay, so I have my paper here. Oh, and I forgot to share with you. Okay, so this is what I did is I just used the Versafine Clara, and then you can use your markers to color your paper, not your stamp. So this is what I did. I just colored with the stamp the black color, and then I just use my markers and then try to color the white area. You can do just directly on top and color that. Okay, so this is just a regular card style. Sometimes what I do is I just put a piece of acrylic block and I put my marker on top, and I just use a paintbrush, pick up color, and then color I use it as a watercolor. So you can use the marker directly on your paper. If you want to use it on the rubber stamp, that's a little bit tricky because those strokes, if you have a way to hiding those strokes, go for it. Okay, so I have my jellyfish there, and I'm going to see, I always create a guiding window helping me place my die cut at the right spot. So remember last video, I created some kind of die cut, and I said, okay, keep this die cut, we can use it for something else. So we're going to use this die cut as a stencil. Okay, so I have my best friend. This is just Michael's Recollection 110 pounds Costa. I just think they are cheap and good quality. And then I am going to use only one color. Should I? What color is my jellyfish? I think this orange will do the job. So I'm going to use the magic mushroom. If you have it, good for you. If you don't have it, you can use a sponge. You can use brush, blending brushes, anything you like. But just be careful with the brushes because when you use the brushes and they kind of brush, right? So those small pieces maybe you will accidentally remove it. So try to use the sponge. Is works better. If you don't have a Local King's magic mushroom, just use the regular sponge. They will do the job too. Any kind of blending tool, they will work. Okay, so my magic mushrooms are a little bit dirty, and like I have been repeat too many times. Sorry, allergy season. So I've been repeating too many times in my video. The magic mushroom work well when it's a little bit moisture. So just use a wet cloth to give a little bit moisture when you touch it. Got a little bit wet. That will work just fine. So I'm going to only use one color. This is a Tangelo color, and with just one color, but we can create as many tones as you want to. So let's start with a very, very light color. So I'm going to gently tapping my magic mushroom. You can have a piece of scrap paper on the side, okay? So I just want to create a very, very light. So I start tapping it because we are tapping it, right? So we don't have to worry about pushing those small pieces, accidentally push it. So just start with a very, very light color, okay, gentle, because I kind of want to create some ghost image. And then I'm going to just rotate my my stencil, and this time I'm going to tap a little bit harder. Okay. See how easy we can coloring because those sponge tip, right? So we have a two, and then the other one, I'm going to have a one upside down jellyfish. So this one we can even do even darker. So it's just kind of pounding harder. You can really control, so that way we can have a too many different kind of tone. So one stencil, one impact, one sponge, and then you can have a three different kind of shading. Isn't that awesome? And then now I am going to grab my words background stamp. This words background stamp is one of my oldest image, but actually I was wrong. The number one background stamp is actually due. So that's that stamp we just launched 2 years ago. Actually, I was kind of checking the sales report. That due background stamp was actually number one sale. Okay, so I still using the same background stamp, and then I just like to use the impact because it's faster. But we can use the markers to give it a bit shading. So I use my light orange, but I'm going to use a little bit darker red. So you can use your markers any way you like. There is no rule. You are the rule. You rule. Okay, so nobody can tell you you can do it or you cannot do it. There you go. See, some part of my script is a little bit darker, right? Okay, so that's put this one away, and I have my jellyfish here. And in my last video, remember I was share with you how you can turn all your die cut become a puffy sticker. If you haven't got a chance to take a look, there is a 250 video ready to view, so make sure you check it out. And then I already pre-cut this jellyfish on the a sheet of a double side tape, so I'm going to just put on top. Why I am doing this, why I like to respond to the other question. Some of you guys, not the one, actually few asked me, Lisa, would you consider to make a 5x7 background stamp as a little bit bigger image? The answer is not, no, not at this moment. I'm sorry. The reason we don't make a 5x7 stamp image because the price. Because every place that we can create, the place is very important. If you like to know how I create rubber stamp, how the rubber stamp being born, I will put a link below. So when we design a rubber stamp, we try to fit it out all the image on top, right? So if I want to make a 5x7, this plate I can only make a 2 stamp. So the one background stamp is already $12.99. And then if I make a 5x7, that means I have to jack up my price to $19.99. I don't think so anybody will willing to pay $19.99 for just a background stamp. So that's one of the reasons the money wiser I really think is going to be for the marketing is going to be so hard for us. But we do have a few slimline size background stamp. So I'm going to put my, let me see. Yeah, this time I'm going to put my put the wrong one. Oh, you can keep this one for stencil too. See, I'm just like to collect all the garbage. Okay, so I'm going to put on top, and I'm going to grab a piece of paper, kind of just rubbing on top. So in my videos, I already show, even though you have a small stamp, how you can make that become bigger image. Well, try to use your imagination if you face some issue and try to solve the problem. Okay, so now I'm going to put my glitter on top, and then this is what I'm going to do. I really don't like a glitter or especially the embossing powder. So I come up with this idea. I'm going to use a tray, and then if they fall, they will fall on my tray. And remember, glitter is not your friend. Do at your friend's house. So after you put the glitter on top, just use your finger. Try to burnish that glitter. You can do any color you like. After you do that, you just use a soft brush. Kind of remove the extra glitter. So my ghost jellyfish. And I can see on this tray is already have a lot of glitter. Oh, I really don't like the glitter, but I like the glitter better than the embossing powder. The feeling of those embossing powder is just drive me insane. Okay, and then for my, do you make an orange car? I actually found out I have a lot of orange car stock. I don't really use orange. Don't really like orange. I like black. Black color is my favorite color. Okay, so no, and sorry, I love purple, but I wear black all the time because that makes me look skinny. Okay, so that's this is the last video for all those leftover for the puffy sticker, and just save it. My husband always joke around, always make fun of me. Say you always save the small money and go spend the big one. Okay, yep, that's my job. Save the penny and go big. Okay, so and then I'm going to put my jellyfish here. Oh, you can make it like a puffy sticker. And then where I'm going to stamp, does this one have enough room here? Okay, I'm going to stamp there. Life is beautiful here. Okay, so I'm going to stand here. Make sure it's not upside down. Voila! So that's today's card project. Something so simple, but it is so pretty, right? And then I'm sure we can still come up with a lot of different ideas by using these You Are So Jelly stamp set and matching die cast set. But I already created 8 different cards already. I think that should give you some idea what you can do. If you have any question, always leave me a comment, let me know, and we'll do my best to answer all the questions. And for my next video, I'm going to move on to the next stamp set. If you like to take a look what's the all 8 brand new stamp set, I will put the link below so you can check it out. Just if you like this video, give me a thumb up, let me know. So this is Lisa from Local King Rubber Stamp. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye!